Okay. Hey, everybody. I want to go through one single run through of the entire hybrid learning process so that you guys are more comfortable, more familiar from start to finish what it's going to look like. So, the first thing that I'm going to do is, and this is something that IT will always make sure is set up for me, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my swivel, iPad, and base are properly set up. What does that mean? Well, that means that there are four cables that are plugged in. That is the charger cable for the base, the USB cable for the base to the laptop, the boost cable that goes from the charger into the back of the swivel, and then the actual iPad cable that goes from the iPad into that little boost cable. Again, this should already be set up for you. As long as this isn't broken down, it should still remain that way, and all you have to do is just make sure that it's turned on. I'm going to turn on my swivel. Sorry, this camera's going all over the place. I'm going to turn on my swivel, and I'm going to grab the marker out of the back of the swivel that's been charging overnight, hopefully, and I'm going to wear it on my lanyard. I have this marker here for the other one that I'm using. I am going to then open up my Swivel Teams app, make sure that my robot base is connecting, everything is moving around. If I move this, it'll follow it. Let me do that right now for my swivel here. It's connecting. Now it's connected. Feel good. I'm going to hit this little middle button here, and now my swivel is going to follow me. Great. I'm then going to sign into Zoom. I'm signed into Zoom already. You see the little Zoom buttons there. Perfect. Okay, I'm set on the iPad swivel side. I'm going to go to the laptop side now. I'm going to plug in my HDMI cable to make sure that I can project. You guys already know that stuff. I'm going to plug in a USB cable so that my document camera can connect to my laptop. And then I'm going to plug in the USB cable that came from the swivel on the floor taped over to my laptop so that my audio comes from my marker to my laptop. Perfect. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn on my display and make sure that it's showing me exactly what it needs to show me. Looks like it is showing me what it needs to show me. It should show you something similar to this screen, which tells you, hey, present wirelessly. Here's some information on how to present wirelessly. The only thing that you need from this screen really is the name. It says TV Cart 01, TV Cart 02, whatever it might be. It's going to tell you what the name is. Now, if you're using a Como interactive display as your second display, the eShare app is going to let you sign into that device. That's also available on the board itself. It will show you exactly how to connect to it. Okay, so I have my secondary display. I want to connect to that secondary display. All I have to do here is click on this bottom right icon to pull up my menu, select project, select connect to a wireless display, and then find my TV Cart 1. And when I do that, I will see that a PIN number is displaying on my additional display here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that PIN number in. 1629. And I'll click connect. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and unpin this toolbar just so it's out of the way. All right, I have my second display, my second screen. I'm going to click on my desktop, just double check my display settings here. I see the display numbers. I'm going to click on identify. That identify is going to pop up with the numbers on the back right. I saw the number 3 on this display, and it's on the right-hand side. I feel good about the location of it. I've changed the scale settings if I want to make it look bigger. So now we're ready to start our Zoom meeting. I'm going to go ahead and just launch a Zoom meeting using this button right here. For those of you that use your personal meeting room IDs, this is probably the easiest thing for you to do. For those of you that schedule your meetings, you can do so by launching your schedules from here. Obviously, you guys are already used to that. I'm going to go ahead and just start this scheduled meeting that I have. So I'm joining with my computer audio. And then I'm going to double check a few things. I'm going to double check that my audio is set up properly, that my microphone is using the audio interface through the swivel, and that my speaker is set to the actual projector that's in my classroom. Next, I'm going to stop my video because I don't really need to show my document camera just yet to my students. Lastly, what I'm going to do is just double check that my additional display has what it needs to show so that I understand what's going on in the virtual classroom. So I'm going to pop out this chat window and move it off to the side so that I have a chat there. And then I have my other screen right here that just shows me what's going on with students. Okay. I am almost there. The last little bit for me now is to make sure that my iPad also joins that same meeting. So I'm going to go to this iPad. And I am going to go to my meetings. And I will also start the same meeting that I have on my laptop. I'm also going to select no audio because I don't need to use audio on this iPad. So now, when I come back to my board, I'm going to see the video that's coming from the iPad that's joined from the swivel that's connected to my Zoom meeting. I know, that was a lot. That was a lot of things that I just said. The only thing you need to know is the swivel is my cameraman. That iPad is my cameraman. I am joining my Zoom meeting and I am running it from my laptop here. But my cameraman wants to join the same meeting so that he can show everybody at home what it looks like while I'm walking around. So while I'm here in my class, I have my swivel iPad right now. My cameraman is following me. And I'm looking at the participants that are at home, but I'm looking at the chat also that's at home. And then on top of that, I am sharing information with students here in the classroom, exactly what they want to see. So let's say I want to show something from my document camera. I'm going to go ahead and launch my document camera software. Easy Interactive. And I'll go ahead and use my camera. And I'll select I will select the Cuomo camera. And then I will share this screen to my participants. And if I want to, I'll include sound. And now I'll reload it. And so at home, students are seeing, oh, I'm here, camera. At home, students are seeing the document camera, but they're also seeing me through my cameraman that's over there. And you'll see that displayed here. Maybe you'll see it. There you go, back here. And they're going to hear me through that marker. I'm over here, Swivel. Thank you. If I'm sharing a video, it's the same thing. A slideshow, same thing. I'm going to share my screen. It's probably simpler to share my laptop screen from the beginning and then only disable it when I absolutely have no content to share through my whiteboard. So I have everything done. I'm set this way. You know, maybe I'm going to do some annotations through that. Maybe I'm going to show another video. That's it. The next thing that I can do is I can enable a student at home to then join this meeting and talk back through the speakers to us in the classroom. That's already set up the way that it is right now. I don't have to do anything else. I've already made sure that my audio settings are properly set. So everything is good in that regard. If I want to, I can also record my Zoom meeting. So I'm going to record this Zoom meeting, and I will have a permanent record of the class that I just gave with hybrid students also participating. And so that is it in a nutshell. It starts with the swivel, making sure that we log into it, making sure that it's powered on, making sure that it recognizes our marker. And then logging into our Zoom meeting, same thing. And then it goes to our laptop. And hey, laptop, we got to make sure all the cables are plugged in. We're going to plug in the HDMI. We're going to plug in that document camera. We're going to plug in that swivel USB cable. Then lastly, we're going to come over to the additional display and we're going to join it wirelessly. We're going to project. We're going to connect to the wireless projector. And then it's going to say, hey, TV cart 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, whatever it might be. We're going to select that TV cart name and then connect to it, enter our PIN, and use that as our second monitor. And when we're in our Zoom meeting, joining it through our iPad, joining it through our laptop, we are sharing our screen so that the students at home can see exactly what we have here in the classroom in front of their screens as well. I hope that this is more helpful than it is confusing. I want you guys to remember two key things. One, this is a massive undertaking, and I think you guys are going to do much better than you think you will. And two, I think that it's not going to be perfect, but you've also had some of this Zoom training already. You're kind of familiar with the Zoom side of things, managing the Zoom meeting, the participants, having an additional display. I know a lot of you ended up setting up a second monitor at home while teaching. This is not going to be super unfamiliar for you. So the hope is you guys relax a little bit and rely on the things that you're already good at to be able to manage this Zoom session, to be able to launch into this Zoom session, and also to be able to teach your class. And the hope is IT has set up everything for you guys so that it's very easy for you to recreate and replicate this every morning that you have to do a hybrid class. So hang in there, guys. I swear to God, it's not that bad. And if it is, IT support team is always going to be available to make sure any hiccups that you guys run into are quickly and immediately addressed. And thank you again for watching this video and taking this course. Now I'm ready to proceed with connecting my laptop to the additional display so that I can get both my students at home visually represented as well as what I'm showing the class and the kids at home represented on this screen here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like right now with my laptop. My laptop is connected with an HDMI cable. I'm going to go into the laptop itself and just connect wirelessly to that guy right over there. So for you that are using the smaller Samsung additional displays in your classroom, you're going to open up this menu here at the bottom right. You're going to select the project option. Then you're going to click on connect to a wireless display. From there, if you remember from earlier videos, your additional display cart is going to have a label on it that says the name of that display, as well as when it's on the TV screen, it will show you the current display name for that TV cart. This one shows TV cart 1. I'm going to select that right now. And it's going to prompt me to enter a PIN number. So if I go over here right now, I'm going to show you what that looks like. On my screen, it's actually showing me that PIN number. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that right now into my laptop. And I'm going to click connect. Now, when I connect to that screen by default, what will happen is what's on my laptop screen is going to be right here mirrored onto my projector screen. But if you look over here, I don't see anything at all. All I see is a blank desktop. This is essentially your second monitor. When you're connected to this display, it's going to act as if it's a second monitor. Now, you may see these two mirrored at the same time, and if that's the case, we're going to configure that so that it's a second monitor anyways, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. Not a huge step. So what we do first is anywhere on your desktop, you're going to right-click and open space, click on Display Settings, and then we're going to use the Identify button to briefly display on the screen what device or what display is recognized. So let me go ahead and click on that real quick. If you see on the screen right now, there were numbers that were displayed on the bottom right corners. Those are the display numbers to identify for your laptop. I can tell right now that the 1 and 2 just means that my laptop screen and my projector screen are mirrored, and then 3 is my additional display. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave 1 and 2, and then for 3, depending on where my cart is located, so if I am looking at my display right now, let's say I'm turning around to face it, if my TV cart is on the left of my display, sorry about the swivel, if it's on the left of my display, I'm going to drag that number 3 over to the left-hand side of the 1 and 2. If it's on my right, I'm going to drag it over to the right. Basically, what that does is it allows my mouse to go off the screen in the right direction. So if I have my 1 and 2 over here and my 3 over here, if I move my mouse over to the left and it goes off screen, it's going to go onto my television display. But right now in my classroom, when I face that television, it's actually to the right of all of my displays. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it back over here. We're almost done with configuring this. And the great thing about this is these settings will remain every time you turn and reconnect your laptop. What I want to do is change the scale of my television display to be slightly larger than any of my other displays. And the reason we do this is these are high definition televisions, and it can be very difficult for you to read text like Zoom chats or smaller icons from further away. So I'm going to go ahead and set that to 175%. Everything is set now, and I will exit. Now, when I look at this screen, the icons are much larger. So if I have Zoom participants on here or a Zoom chat on here, I'm going to be able to see that much clearer from further away while I'm standing delivering content to a classroom.